EA and Respawn have officially confirmed that Star Wars Jedi 3 is in development, breaking months of silence about the future of the series. The confirmation comes from EA's president of entertainment, Miele, who stated that Respawn is working hard to bring the final chapter of this thrilling story to players. However, this big news is complicated by major studio shakeups that have fans worried. The departure of the series director, Stig Asmussen, who was the narrative architect for the first two games. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to know the last few months have been filled with uncertainty for the series. But the news comes directly from EA's president of entertainment, Miele, who confirmed that Respawn is working on the game. That one statement is huge. It puts all the doubts to rest. Jedi 3 is happening, and it's a priority. EA has also been really clear that this is the final installment of the Cal Kestis trilogy. The original director always saw this as a three-part story, and now EA is publicly committing to that vision. This means we're finally getting a definitive conclusion. And if that wasn't enough, Cal's actor Cameron Monaghan let it slip at a Comic-Con panel telling fans, "We're working on the third game right now." So yeah, from those statements alone, it's obvious. The game is in full production. You guys can call me a gaming insider now. Okay, but we cannot ignore the absolute chaos that's been surrounding this news. The last year has been rough for Respawn. EA went through some major layoffs, and while a different Star Wars FPS was canceled to focus on established brands like Jedi, some people on the Jedi team were still affected. And on top of that, the series lost its visionary director, Stig Asmussen. He wasn't just a director for the franchise, he was the narrative architect for these games. His vision is what shaped Cal's entire journey. He left late last year to start his own studio, and his departure has made a lot of fans, even myself, pretty nervous. A new director taking over for the finale of a trilogy, that's always a cause for concern. It just introduces a level of unpredictability. But this right here is where EA has tried to do some damage control. They've been quick to reassure everyone that veteran Respawn leaders are stepping up to guide the project. The idea is that the people taking over have been there from the start. Is it a bit disappointing that Asmussen isn't going to be involved in the final chapter? Yes, but hopefully the core team can still bring his original vision home. If they get this wrong, it's just a recipe for disaster. This brings us to the future. With all this happening, when can we actually play this game? Let's look at the history. Fallen Order came out in 2019, and Survivor followed in 2023. That's a 4-year gap. If we just apply that same logic, a 2027 release seems like a reasonable place to start. However, this is where we get into the bumpy road, have you? The layoffs and the change in leadership could easily stretch that timeline out. Some sources are speculating it could slip to 2028. It's a long wait, but it seems like they're focused on getting the finale right instead of rushing it. So it's highly unlikely we see anything before late 2026, with 2027 or even 2028 being far more probable. A Jedi 3 is still so long away. I can't even fathom it. Before we get into what all this means for Cal's story and the insane tech behind the game, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want to stay updated on everything Jedi 3, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one. Now, one of the most exciting bits of confirmed news is the tech. Job listings from Respawn have confirmed the next game is being built in Unreal Engine 5. This is a huge deal. So what does this mean for us as players? Well, it basically opens the door for a massive leap in everything. We're talking bigger worlds, way better lighting, and hopefully smoother performance. Jedi Survivor already pushed the old engine to its limits, and we all saw the performance issues on PC at launch. Moving to Unreal Engine 5 is a sign that Respawn is aiming for a true next-gen experience and wants to avoid those problems. This is how they future-proof the finale, making sure Cal's last chapter is as visually insane as possible. With all the production stuff out of the way, let's get to the heart of it, the story. Respawn has promised a satisfying conclusion, and that this is the grand finale. This isn't just another adventure, it's the end. The end of Survivor left Cal in a really dark place. He's more aggressive, his mentor Seer is gone, and he's basically a dad now with Merrin raising Kata. This sets the stage for a deeply personal and emotional final game. The writers have hinted that Cal is on his own now, which opens up this huge internal conflict. Will he fall to the dark side, or will he find a way to honor Seer's memory? This whole family dynamic with Merrin and Kata is something you barely ever see in Star Wars, and it gives him a reason to fight for something more than just survival. This right here has had my mind racing, and the community's probably thinking the same thing. Fan theories are running wild. A lot of people think Cal's story either ends with him making the ultimate sacrifice for his new family, or he finally finds peace on Tanalorr and steps away from the fight. The fact that EA is calling it the final chapter for Cal suggests his story is completely done, one way or another. And of course, a hero is only as good as his villain. For a final chapter, the stakes have to be higher than ever. The most popular theory, by a mile, is the return of Darth Vader. Cal barely survived his first encounter, and a final, climactic showdown just feels inevitable. It would be the ultimate test. Beyond Vader, we could see new Inquisitors, or maybe a big Imperial name like Grand Moff Tarkin starts hunting the Mantis crew personally. I mean, Cal's actions are getting bolder, and the Empire is at the height of its power. It's only a matter of time before he gets their full attention. The timeline also puts this game dangerously close to the original trilogy. Survivor was set 9 years before A New Hope. This means we could see Cal cross paths with the early Rebel Alliance. Could he meet a young Mon Mothma or Bail Organa? Maybe even Azatoka. It would be the perfect way to lock his story into the bigger Star Wars saga. So, to wrap it all up, Jedi 3 is officially happening at Respawn, and it will be the end of Cal Kestis' story. But despite that confirmation, you have the business realities of layoffs and the original creator's departure, which makes the road ahead a little bumpy. We're probably looking at a 2027 or 2028 release, but the game is being built on Unreal Engine 5, so it should be a huge technological jump. The story is said to be the most personal one yet, focusing on Cal's struggle with the dark side and his new family. It's the end of a journey that so many of us have connected with. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. I want to turn it over to you. What do you think will be Cal's ultimate fate? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on so you're not missing out on any future videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.